Okay, so this is the second half of Ava's Nicu adventures. So Daniel came back. He actually left work early on Friday. He got to leave at about 3 o'clock, so he got there by 5. Which I was really, really excited about. He got there very quickly and he came up and he surprised me. Oh, goodness. She's getting fussy. Okay. Hold on just a second. I think she might be okay. Anyway, so I can't pause this video, so I'm kind of debating on whether I should just go ahead and stop it. Yeah, so he came back and they we went over to when we went over to see her on Saturday. One of the nurses came by and they were talking about how she needed to be back on her feeding tube, and it's like, you know, I didn't like the fact that they took it off and now they were putting it back. It's like, why are you doing this? You know, she's doing great. And they're like, well, she's not gaining the weight she needs to be gaining with the amount of milk that she's taking in. It's like she's wasting too much of her energy on trying to drink too much, so she's not gaining the weight. And so pretty much Daniel and I, like, he and his mom came up with a plan to see if we could just go ahead and take her home. And because his mom's worked, she's had like 5 years experience in baby nurseries and stuff, and I really was not a fan of the idea. As her mom, I was just like, I really feel like it's not right. We need to keep her here. My insurance said that they were going to stop covering her being there after 10 days, and so it was just kind of, yeah, like, we were kind of thinking of finances, but it's like, you know what, no, you know, all the money in the world can't replace her health and stuff. So we were thinking about talking to them on Sunday morning. So we went in, and Daniel had mentioned it at rounds, and which rounds is when all the nurses and doctors get together and they talk about report on each baby. And they have the parents come in when it's time to talk about their baby. And so Daniel had talked to them about it and stuff, and the doctor there was just like, he got kind of like, he kind of raised his voice at Daniel, and it just made me start crying. And it's like, it was not, you know, we just wanted to hear your opinion on it. You know, is it okay for her to go home if she has the equipment that she needs, that type of stuff. So, but they were not okay with it, and pretty much they felt like we were just really making everything hard on them because of the fact that we wanted them to switch the security bands when Daniel couldn't be there, so that way his mom could come in without me, because I wasn't able to get up in the middle of the night and stuff to come out there and feed her. So Daniel's mom was going to do that and stuff, and we pretty much had made a plan to be there as much as we can, so we can make sure we could feed her. Because what they were doing is they put her on the feeding tube, but they were still letting her bottle feed. But they were letting her bottle feed until she was showing that she was getting tired, and then they put the rest in through the tube. And we had one day where one of the nurses had told me that she put the whole bottle through the tube. Daniel had spent all night long in the middle of the night being there to feed her, and he fed her the entire thing. She drank like 65 cc's every time for him, or 50 to 65. And her thing was only to 87%. And we're like thinking, well, why is it only 87% when she drank so much? She drank all of it for us. But once I found out that that nurse did that, I was like, this is ridiculous. So I was really, really, really set on being there as much as I could for at least 12 hours. So I was making sure I was getting over there to, you know, at least till 9 o'clock in the morning until 9 at night. And I was walking back to the place we were staying in the dark and stuff. everybody was getting a little concerned at how much I was doing when I just had major surgery and stuff, but it was like it didn't affect me. I wasn't in pain or anything. So yeah, sorry, I'm getting really tired. Daniel's mom hadn't been there that much. She had to run a lot of errands and stuff. She got there Monday afternoon, and then Tuesday she had to go out, and then Wednesday she had decided to go out and leave because she was having financial problems. So she needed to go and take care of some murals that she was painting to help her out and stuff. And I was okay with it. I was like, no, I'm okay with being on my own. It's fine. And I was like, Daniel's gonna be here tomorrow and stuff. And so, was it? I can't remember. And pretty much Daniel went ahead and signed for his vacation because we were thinking if she couldn't get out by the weekend, that he really needed to be there to help me and stuff, so we could get her home, because we just really felt like it was best for her to come home. And then they got it so that my insurance would cover her for up to 20 days. So that was taken care of. And then I found out that evening that they were going to start, they got her oxygen tanks in, or that they were going to have her O2 come in for the next day, which was Thursday, which I believe was June 7th by then. And she's just getting so grunty. So yeah, pretty much they were looking for releasing her by Friday and stuff. So I called and let Daniel know that he's most likely gonna have to take Friday off. And so he's like, okay, that's fine. But I told him I would let him know after rounds on Thursday morning. And so Thursday morning, they let me know that they will be releasing her on Friday, that she was doing great. They had taken her tube off on Tuesday, her feeding tube. And she was pretty much drinking her entire bottle every feeding. So she just really needed a few extra days to get everything ready. So pretty much it's like when they were talking about bringing her home and stuff, my answer that I got about the situation was that she just needs more time. You know, when she's ready to go home, then that is when she will go home. And it just turned out she just needed a few more days. So, but yeah, so Thursday the guy came in to bring her oxygen in and showed me how to use it, which I had already used oxygen before because of working in a nursing home. So I pretty much already had that set. Just the dial thing is different. You can see it back there. It's different for an infant, so that was the only thing I really needed training on. And Daniel got there about 5 o'clock, or actually 6 o'clock, and pretty much what they do there is they have you room in with her overnight in the back, where they have these rooms set up so you can see how you do on your own with your baby and stuff, and see if you need any help or anything like that. And they also have to test her. So they test her in her car seat. They test every baby for about an hour and a half to 2 hours in their car seat with or without oxygen. And since we were sending her, she was coming home on oxygen, they went ahead and just did the testing with her oxygen on. We're going to have to do it when we take her off her oxygen. We're going to have to make sure that she can be in her car seat for at least 90 minutes without oxygen on, which we have an oximeter machine right now to help us with testing. But anyway, we roomed overnight with her, and then she passed her car seat test. And then the next morning, we pretty much were leaving by about I think it was about 9 o'clock when Daniel went over to the place that we were staying. He let them know that we were leaving, and he got everything packed up and ready to go, and then he came back, and I think that was by about 10, and then we had to do some last minute paperwork and stuff and discharge work, and so we got out of there by about I think about 11 o'clock. They came out and they gave me a big bucket of milk and stuff because they said that I had some breast milk in the freezer as well. And I was thinking, you know, maybe 5 bottles or so. And they brought me out a whole basin full of them. There was at least 40 bottles in there. And I was like, oh my gosh, I did not realize I had this much milk in there. So yeah, they still had milk in there from like my first milk that they didn't give her. It's like, why did you guys not give her this stuff over the regular milk? But yeah, they also wouldn't let us leave until she had a pediatrician appointment set up, so we were able to do that. We had to come back on Monday for her appointment, and she weighed 6 pounds and 3 ounces on Thursday night, before we went back to the room to go to sleep. And then by Monday, I was betting that she would be 6.5 pounds, and she was 6.5 pounds exactly. So she's probably about 7 pounds now. So yeah, she had her appointment Monday. Daniel was off the entire week with me for his vacation, except for Friday. He went ahead and worked Friday because he took the previous Friday off. So I did have my first day off with her on Friday. And then today, of course, but he's been very, very helpful with taking care of her at nighttime. I keep having trouble getting up at night, and it's like I sleep right through her crying because of me getting up every 3 hours to pump. And then it's like if she cries in between that time, it's like I'm almost only getting an hour of sleep each time I'm getting up. So it was really exhausting. So he's been very, very helpful with it. He was telling me that I should make it so that I'm only pumping after I take care of her at nighttime, so that way I'm getting everything done within an hour and I can go back to sleep for 2 to 3 hours before she wakes up. And then I'm kind of getting low on milk for her. Like, it just seems like I'm not getting as much anymore. He's been very helpful at looking into that. He's like, you got to be making sure you're drinking all this water, you got to be eating food. Today he came and got me during his lunch break, or us, sorry. It's not me anymore, it's us. He came and got us, and he took us to the cafeteria so I can eat with him and stuff. And yeah, because last night I was overwhelmed. I was upset about the fact that I'm not producing as much milk anymore. I think a lot of it has been that we've been out a lot this week too, going like different places and stuff, and so I've had points where I'm not. I mean, Monday when we went to her appointment, I went 9 hours without pumping, which is not a good thing. So I think I just really need to get back onto making sure I'm pumping every 3 to 4 hours. Really making sure that that's set on schedule, because that's the last thing I want to do is not be able to feed her and have to get formula. So formula is really the most expensive thing other than daycare that we're concerned about. Diapers really aren't a problem. We get a whole month's supply of diapers for about $70. We buy them from Sam's Club, so they're a pretty good price there. And let's see. I did get my hospital bill yesterday. It was $20,000. And my insurance covered all of it except for $1,600. So, which we're okay with, as long as they're aware that we're probably only going to be able to pay them about $100 a month. So, just kind of what they're going to have to deal with. And then I don't know what her Nicu bill is going to be. We probably won't get that for a couple more weeks. So, but yeah, so she's been home with us now for 10 days. So she's doing great, and she should be off her oxygen by her due date. I'm really hoping. We're unplugging her from it as much as possible, and just seeing how she does on it. So my main concern is I'm just afraid of being asleep at night and her having trouble breathing at nighttime, so when we're not able to watch her the whole time. So, but yeah, it's concerning. It's hard to deal with the oxygen thing. It's fearful. So, but it's mainly the high altitude, the elevation that we're at. They said that if we were not here, a high elevation, that she would not need to be on it. So, but yeah. Anyway, so I'll just continue to update you guys. I am gonna be off of work for another 2 months. I called my boss about a week into her being in the NICU and asked him if I could go ahead and still take up until August 16th. Oh, somebody's here. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. Gotta go. Bye.